Good morning, everyone. My name is Daniel, and this is my $1,000,000 story. It is Sunday morning, and this is the end of week number 3 doing this project. And I am super excited about what I've got planned for next week and the next few months. All right, so this week I've been working on my social media strategy, and it has been really, excuse me, a really good progress or opportunity for me to learn a lot and to make some progress on my businesses. More on that to come later today when I give my weekly update. But for now, I just wanted to jump into how I'm doing and maybe give a little bit more of an overall update. So since the beginning of my project. So I came into this project a little bit discouraged, maybe a lot discouraged. I've been doing businesses, side hustles, and I've had lots of big plans for a very long time. And honestly, I've kind of started spinning around the same steps over and over and over again, which is I create a business, I get it so that it's making some money, and then I convince myself that it's never going to make me enough money, or I just can't do it, and then I quit. And this has become a problem because I'm like getting essentially, I'm creating what it is that I'm expecting, right? So I'm manifesting this idea that I can't be successful because it's what's deep, it was deep inside of my brain. And so over the last few weeks, I've been working to improve my health, make some better decisions, really prove to myself that I can do things that are hard for me that I don't want to do. If I get up in the morning, instead of hitting my snooze, I just get out of bed, 4:30 a.m. That's a difficult thing for me. I really don't like getting out of bed in the morning. But I'm choosing to do it even though it's difficult because I know that there's something that I want more. And that is a commitment that I haven't been able to make or keep with myself for a very long time. And so that has left me feeling much more optimistic about the future. And really honestly now I feel like I'm ready to start making bigger plans that are going to require some bigger changes and bigger challenges, things that are going to scare me and be difficult for me. But I feel ready to take that next step and start getting done what needs to be done in order to make bigger changes and reach bigger goals. So the thing I wanted to talk about this morning is about fear and about being brave, right? So I've thought about this some over the last week that being afraid is it's something that happens inside of you, right? And for me, the way that I feel fear usually is tied to my thoughts. Something feels a little bit different. If I'm a little bit apprehensive about something, that's no big deal. And when I feel that apprehension, if I stay out of my head, I just move past it. I move through it. I do what needs to be done, and I get to where I'm going. The problem for me comes when I spend too much time thinking. When I have downtime, then my brain starts to process all of the reasons why I can't do something. And that's where the fear, that's where that deep anxiety starts to form for me. So my brain, my thoughts will start what I call spiraling, right? And so I think of why I can't do it. I think of why it's a bad idea. I think about why I'm not capable, and I think about why I'm going to fail, and then another reason why I'm going to fail, and another reason why I'm going to fail. And then after I get, 4 or 5 or 10 or whatever number of things in my head, then I start just doing a circle. I start spiraling. I think of these things over and over and over again, and it's hard for me to break that cycle once it begins. This is a huge problem for me because it's all made up, right? Almost all of these things are things that I'm just inventing. They're not real outcomes from me taking this leap or doing this action. there are things that my brain has, that I've imagined might happen, and they probably won't, but I've thought about them so many times that I've convinced myself that they're real. So maybe a little bit of background about the way that my mind works will be helpful here. So I'm extremely visual. I learn from seeing things, I learn from experiencing things, but inside of my mind, I'm able to visualize really, really well. And I don't know, like I'm able to daydream really well, right? I'm able to imagine things super, super well. And so that's why specifically in this scenario, it's so dangerous for me to let myself spiral like this, because I can imagine these scenarios or these ideas, these fake things, and I do it so well that I really am convinced that it's reality. My wife used to, or still does probably, but I'm getting a better hold of it. But she used to get really frustrated with me. This is my perspective, right? Obviously from the outside, kind of observing her, but she would get really frustrated because she'd feel like I was lying about things, and that, goodness, something, truth, honesty is really important to me. And so it would frustrate me a lot that she thought that I was lying. That was the last thing that I was doing, and these things that she'd feel like that I was lying about were whether something was possible, whether something I would make excuses for why things weren't possible. To me, inside of my head, it was completely legitimate. Honestly, I don't know if I like the word lying still because of that. But what she found out is when I behave in a certain way, she doesn't believe what I'm saying because she knows the thing I'm saying isn't possible, or it isn't the way things are done, or that it like just that it can't be done, right? She knows that that's not true, and that she can go and do something or research it herself and find out that it can be done. This was a huge wake-up call to me, again, because she used the word, that word specifically, lying, forced me to think about something that I couldn't see. It was a huge black spot for me, huge blind spot. Sorry, black box blind spot. It was a big blind spot for me that I wasn't able to see in the way that I process my environment. And what I found was that when there's something that scares me, I quickly find reasons why that thing isn't possible or isn't the right decision to make. And so part of what I need to do, and part of this process for me, is I've heard people say this before. When something scares me, I need to run as fast as I can towards that thing, right? Just do it. If it's scary and I think it's impossible, fine. Prove that it's possible. Period. Doesn't matter. Figure out a workaround to the impossible. I've done that enough times with other things that I wanted to do that didn't scare me. I can do it with something that does scare me. And that's the way I need to handle these situations. And so that's part of the commitment I'm making going into this Forge, this 100-day challenge that I'm going to be doing. And I'll be talking about it more later today. But part of that process for me is diving headfirst into the unknown and into that fear and just running towards that fear as fast as I can. All right. Thanks for joining me this morning. If I have any challenge for you, it is going to be that. Run towards your fears. The experience that you'll gain facing them and accomplishing something that you think or believe you shouldn't be doing that's bad for you because simply you're afraid of it, just run towards that. Do it. If at the end you discover that you don't want to be doing that thing, or it's not good for you, or it didn't work out, you're the better for it. Now you know, because of experience and because of evidence, that isn't a good thing for you to do, or it's not the right thing for you to do. But run towards your fears, and don't do anything illegal or stupid. I mean, goodness, let's draw some lines and some boundaries. But run towards your fears. All right. Thank you, and have a great day.